Support roam timers are one of the most misunderstood concepts in all of League, which also makes no sense because it's one of the simplest things to learn. In modern day League, support roams look very different to how they used to, and most people I see still make the common mistake of neglecting their XP bar. Guys, XP on support is so valuable, and everyone gets this one wrong. So in order to teach you the right way to do it, I've created this amazing video guide, which will combine narrated concept explanations with clips taken from a bunch of different games I played over on my stream. That way you can get the explanation followed up by a clip showing you exactly how it works in the real world. So without wasting any more time, this is my guide to roaming on support.
My name's Rogue and I played League of Legends professionally for 7 years. Now I'm a full-time content creator and coach for all ranks, Iron through to Challenger. So if you want more information of what a coaching session with me will look like, you can find more information by following the link in the video description below.
And while you're in the description, you'll also find the link to my Patreon where I post all of the recordings of my best coaching sessions in full, with almost 1,000 hours of content currently available, all sorted by role and rank, including sessions where I've coached for professional level teams. You can get a glimpse of what pro level League looks like from the inside. That's why whatever you're looking for, you'll easily be able to find something that's going to help you improve, no matter your rank. Roam timers and support are super easy to understand. Your roam timer begins when a wave crashes into the enemy tower, and it ends when that wave gets back to your tower, because when you crash a wave into the opposing tower, it causes the enemy minions out of base to get stuck on your creeps, and thus the wave settles closer to the enemy side of the lane, which will very consistently form the beginning of a slow push that pushes back into you. This slow push creates a wave state in the lane where you can roam in an XP efficient way that the opposing support can't match without losing a metric ton of experience. From the moment this wave crashes into blue team's tower, it took over 50 seconds to bounce all the way down the lane and crash into the red team tower. During this time, 13 red team minions died, but on the other side, only 3 of blue team minions died. Alright, let's take those flash timers. Now here I default out of mid. So what's this wave state doing, guys? Hit that turret. What does it do after it hits the turret? It bounces. That wave's bouncing. Now this could be an opportunity to gank on it, but because my jungler has to go clear top camps, we're not going to be able to fight into a double stacked wave, or they have level 3 advantage, so there's no point coming back early. So I roam and I get back when the wave hits the turret in order to get full XP. Now I might overstay my roam here, but the kill mid looks pretty assured. Usually you wouldn't want to be roaming like this in a way where you lose XP. Yeah, I don't want to take that kill, guys. I learnt my lesson, guys. And I did miss the bot XP, which is really sad, but, you know, maybe I was needed. Turns out I wasn't. Now, as I mentioned already in this clip, I was late back to bot lane because I got caught up killing the Ryze, and so I only received half of the wave of XP. This replay isn't the perfect example of a roam timer, but you can see what I mean. Not only is this an XP efficient wave state for me to roam on, but it is an inefficient wave state for the enemy support to roam on, as he'd fall much further behind if he was to try and match me on the roam. Not only that, but this keeps your ADC happy. If Veigar was to roam mid during this timer, not only would he lose a ton of XP, but his ADC would hate him for it, as his ADC is way more vulnerable to being frozen on at a 2v1 if Veigar is showing on vision mid and isn't there to help him crash this wave. Meanwhile, my ADC can just simply sit back and chill, waiting for the wave to come back in, since as we already mentioned, the blue team minions are dying at an extremely slow rate as they push back into us. Now, the reason why this XP is so important for support is super simple. As a support, you do not receive a gold income since you don't get to farm minions like everyone else, so you have to get your strength from something. Think about melee supports like Braum, Leona, and Alistar. What is it about these champions that makes them so tanky? Well, it's because of level ups. When you level up, you primarily gain 3 stats. Attack damage, which we don't care much for, but also armor and health. Just by leveling up here, from level 4 to 5, this Nautilus gained an enormous 4 armor and 82 health, which is going to be a huge portion of the tank stats he gets since he's not getting gold for items. Another thing to note is that all melee supports simply have a button they can press that makes them tanky. Leona has her W that gives armor and magic resist, Alistar has R that reduces damage taken by a percentage, and Braum has E and W that both do these two things. Without level ups, you don't get many points into these core abilities that are the reason for why you actually become tanky, which simply means that roaming in an XP efficient way early is a really good way to set yourself up for a game where you go 0-10, since you're just going to be insanely squishy in the mid game, which is why we use this XP efficient roaming method in the early game. It's not just that though. XP efficient roaming has a really cool added bonus that is unique to this new Season 15 patch. To see what I'm talking about, we're going to have a look over at a game of Nautilus I played on my main a few days ago. As a quick disclaimer, don't mind the text in the top left corner that says this game is in Plat 3. I forgot to remove that when I stopped to count. The game is actually played in Master Tier. Now, on my first recall of the game, I noticed that the mini wave is coming back into me, but I decide to go back bot lane since it's already very close to crashing into my tower and I need to be there in order to get the XP. After catching these minions, my wave is now pushing towards the enemy, which gives the Nami a roam timer which I can't really match since I have to stay bot and soak up this cannon minion wave of XP, which is when a nice little opportunity presents itself to us. Anyway, we dive them here. I'm just going to suicide here to make this dive work. The reward of this dive is so high, so I just want to make sure it works, and I'm absolutely happy to suicide bomb to make it work. If I don't have to think about living, we can play the dive so much more aggressive to trade 2 for 1. Perfect. If a dive is ever hard to execute, and you're a support, just suicide bomb. Make it work. Oh my god, guys, what are you doing? Execute? It's a pretty good result. Now, out of base, you can see me quickly check the state of bot wave, and when I notice that Syndra is fast pushing the wave, I immediately run back to bot lane. Since I know the wave crash is imminent, my roam timer is also coming to an end quickly. Nami's level 3, I'm level 5 in like 2 minions. How massive is this XP difference? Which, he's doing something wrong to be at a 2-level deficit, right? It's because he's roaming in a way that's just insanely XP inefficient, which is going to come to bite him when he gets hooked by Nautilus and just dies instantly because he's level 3. Or when I Nautilus ult him and he's only level 4. Now, for the next 2 waves, I sit bot since the wave is again pushing away from me. I have to be here as we already know. But finally, when we crash this mini wave into the enemy tower, I for the first time this game have the correct wave state for roaming. So I roam. Now I can go for a roam for the first time this game, boys. My AC did the correct thing in base, and I can go for a little walkies for once. I haven't got to go for walkies much. Now, there's obviously a ward here, but I can dodge that ward. It's a little bit of a false sense of security to the Syndra, because she thinks she has a ward covering her, but then there's a Nautilus walking up going, hello. Ah, not quick enough, my friend. We don't want to fight right now because their bot lane's moving up. What I really want to do is get XP for 6, and then we just leverage my level 6 to make fights happen. And we'll win the fights really hard. Got a massive level lead. Are they on Dragon? They might be. Oh, I get 6 off this. If I get 6 off this, we fight Dragon with my 6. I'm level 6 and their support's level 4, so we can just take every neutral objective now. Biggest sin supports me is they don't prioritize XP in the first 6 levels. I'm just going to hit this. Start this shit, guys. I've literally got a Nautilus ult. They can't come. We can take everything. They can't do shit. If they come, I just Hex Flash over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand here so they don't get line of sight of me if they try to enter. And then from there, I can give them a little Hex Flash treatment just in case they're coming. And we can honestly move for double. We can go for grubs as well. I'm level 6. Like, we shouldn't be given anything. And just because I prioritize XP, we literally get every neutral objective on the map. How nice is this, boys? Pretty goddamn nice. After this, I'm probably going to look to do a cheeky little recall, but we just leverage. All it took is just me not roaming like an inter, getting proper XP, and all of a sudden, I'm 2 levels up on Nami, and then we hit the point with the neutral spawn, and we just get all of them. If it's not that, it's just solo kills, or we win fights everywhere. Hell yeah, let's go. There you go. Not too bad. I don't know where the traps are, but he had a... That was kind of weird, because he managed to get the dash off before my ult went. Usually that CC chains, but I fucked it up somehow. Now, this fight was misplayed for sure. I messed up my CC combo, and Jinx decided to save her traps for next game, but regardless of all of that, you can see the angle that we have while doing this, by engaging when Nami's still only level 5. So by only taking XP efficient roam timers early, I was able to get level 6 before the enemy support, which gave us double neutral objectives and if played better, an easy solo kill in lane because of my faster level 6 compared to her. This point is a really big one. Riot this season changed Void Grubs to spawn at 8 minutes instead of 6 minutes. This is hugely important because in a duo lane, if you get close to all of the XP, you hit level 6 on the minion wave that arrives at 8 minutes, meaning supports who roam in an XP efficient way for the first 6 levels will always get their ultimate for the hugely important Void Grub fight, while a support who doesn't do this will still be level 5 at best at the most important objective contest of the early game. Now, roaming like this is not a steadfast rule that you have to follow no matter what. League of Legends is of course a game with a lot of things all happening at once, so instead don't think of this as a rule but as a general guideline since there are of course always going to be exceptions under extreme circumstances. In this Rakan game for example, you're going to see a really good example of this. Here we get a nice gank onto the enemy bot lane, securing a double kill. Nice. Afterwards, we base and leave the wave frozen. This is nice because leaving the wave frozen like this is going to deny a ton of minions from the enemy bot lane, but it also means I have to head back bot lane instantly out of base in order to be back in time to receive the XP from the wave crash, since it's already so close to our tower. And here's the really big thing, guys, is I need to make sure that I don't lose the XP from this stacked wave. So I can sort of move mid out of base, but I need to get back in time to catch this, because this is going to be about a full level worth of XP, and if I don't go bot to get it, I'm going to fall really far behind. Mid is, oh, it is actually tempting to roam there, because Cat is low on health and doesn't have TP, so it does have some value. Oh, I'm going to break the rules, boys. I'm going mid. Now, I'm going to drop a shit ton of XP for this, but it's in order to completely change the outcome of mid lane. Cat's got no HP, she's got no TP, that means that she has to go all in right now. And if I come to block it, sad day for her. I don't even have to get a kill in order to make this something that we gain. If I'm just here to block her from recalling, she's always going to have to lose waves. So this is breaking the rules of normal roam timers since I'm losing a fuck ton of XP. But it obviously just puts their mid laner into a checkmate position. It's like all hands on deck, boys. I'll try to... Holy crap. Rip. Good try, boys. Now, the outcome here, of course, wasn't the best, but you can see why I broke the rules of XP efficient roaming and went mid here instead of going bot for the XP on the wave crash. Yes, I lost a full level of XP by not going bot, but it's in order to deny a similar amount from the enemy mid laner in a situation where I know going mid is all but a guaranteed reward. At the end of the day, my ADC Varus caught the whole bot wave, so as a team, we didn't lose any minions at all by me not going bot lane. Of course, not catching these minions hurts me a lot in my ability to get level 6 faster, but losing gold and XP obviously hurts mid laners more than it hurts supports. So sometimes in situations like this, it's worth breaking the rules in order to screw over their mid laner. Another cool trick that you can use to extend the roam timer is to simply prioritize your time over your ADC's time by allowing them to be the one to finish off and crash a wave, while you instead prioritize speeding up your own recall. Now, a small optimization you may have noticed in this replay was that I began my recall before Aphelios even finished off the wave. In fact, I perfectly timed my recall in such a way that my recall finished just as Aphelios finished killing the last minion of the wave. That way I receive all of the XP from the minions while channeling recall, but I still get to base as fast as possible. Now, what you notice I did there is I prioritized my recall over pushing the wave. I want to get to base as fast as possible. My time is worth a lot more than Aphelios' time in the early game. So by not helping him push, it delays his recall, but it speeds mine up. And out of base, I can do a lot more than him. So for example, here, this wave is coming in. And because I sped up my recall, I'm going to get back bot lane quick enough to potentially hold the wave out of the tower, which just gives us a perma-freeze. And that's going to be happy days. Maybe I should have beelined bot. Do I get there in time? Yeah, I do. I hold enough of them out to get the freeze, which is good. In this example, I didn't use my recall to roam. Instead, I used it to go back bot lane and set up a freeze, but I just as easily could have used it to walk mid for a roam if I preferred that play instead. Now, up until this point, we've talked a lot about pre-level 6 roaming, but what about after level 6? Well, the answer is you should be roaming pretty much all of the time at this point. In League of Legends, the XP reward you get from killing a minion is always the same. It's a flat amount that never changes. But the XP reward you get for killing champions goes higher and scales with the level of the champion you killed. This means that for a support, the vast majority of XP that you gain in the early game comes from being around minions that die, since champion kills aren't worth much yet. But as the game goes later, this starts to tilt in the other direction, since eventually the XP reward for champion kills scales up, and so you'll begin to get most of your XP by just simply fighting enemy champions. So in the end, don't worry too much anymore about XP efficient roaming in the later levels of laning phase. Just simply try to get involved in the action and you'll pick up XP as you go. Now, before we wrap up the video, I've got one more really cool roaming tip that I want to show you guys. Once you see it, I think it's going to open your eyes to how dominant this role can truly be if played well. Here, bot lane has been pretty chaotic this game. We just lost a fight and my ADC has absolutely no health, so we sadly have to make the decision to recall. While recalling, the enemy bot lane does the correct thing. They push in the wave, get a turret plate, denying us an entire wave, and damn, that's just not a good situation. The upside of this bad situation though is because we base first and the enemy delayed their recall in order to take a wave and a plate before recalling themselves, we get out of base and onto the map first. And because we get onto the map first, my ADC Ashe is going to get to go bot lane and kill the entire arriving mini wave for free since the enemy isn't there yet. So, because I can see Thresh on the map right now, and I'm already coming out of base, he starts recall now, which means I'm getting out of base 15, 20 seconds faster than him. So here's the thing, guys. Ashe is going to walk bot lane. Their ADC is not in lane, which means Ashe kills the wave for free, which means there's nothing they can do bot. The only place where a play could happen on the map is top or mid. So I deploy top side of the map between the two lanes, and I know Thresh isn't here yet. So we've got this brief little window to run in and take vision and potentially find a play on an enemy entering lane. So there's Wukong. I'll say a little good day to him. I wish he didn't see me because it kind of makes it obvious that I put wards in the area. But that's fine. We'll just play off the info. Even if they clear wards, it gives me an opportunity to make a play once I spot that they're on vision somewhere. Here we go. This is a nice play. I'm going to stay off vision unless I have to come out. Like, they don't need me. Now, they did show up back bot lane. We're going to see here. Maybe there's going to be a Wukong. And we can just go for the dive here. I'm just going to open with ult. Makes it impossible to fuck up the play. Now, I wish I was tanking. There we go, good play. And Ashe just has to be careful here, but we're going to trade up massively because we obviously made the play before them and we have triple void grubs. I like to continue with the play, actually. I really do like this. We are completely trading. This guy should stay and hit turret, but since we have triple void grub, we're always going to trade up here. And because we executed the play first, you know, they can trade a tower and 1 kill, but we can trade a tower and 3 kills. You should have just held off on your spear until I actually used my hook, my friend. You don't have to use it yet. I like this Nidalee though. This Nidalee is obviously a good player. And if people actually hit the turret, it would be nice because we're kind of racing here. But these are the kind of situations where you get to roam fully to top lane. It's not very often that you get to roam fully to top lane support, but the times you get to do it are only when you have a tempo advantage and your ADC kills the bot wave for free, which is always what happens when they either die or reset before the enemy bot lane. Now, we should get the top tower, but we didn't because for some reason our teammates didn't click on the tower. Now, after watching this, some people are going to be confused, so I want to get ahead of the comments saying that I was abandoning my ADC to 2v1, because I wasn't. At the moment where we dive top lane, killing the Wukong and hitting his tower, look at the state of the bot wave. The enemy has no minion wave alive, and so we're not actually trading at all at this point. We made this play an entire 1 wave faster than the enemy did. Since Ashe got out of base first, she of course has already killed off the enemy wave that we're using the equivalent of to dive top lane with. If I wanted to at this point, I could simply have just recalled here, gone back to bot lane. But because we had void grubs, I knew that if I continued making this play, we would trade up, so I went for the proxy play and kept going on to top lane. Now, if you learned something from this video, I think that means it's a good idea for you to go down and subscribe to my channel right now so you learn more in the next one. I also really want to suggest you go check out the video description. I've got links to my Patreon where you can watch the recordings of coaching sessions that I've done, and you can learn a ton from that. Or, if you prefer, you can find a link to my Metafy where you can book in a coaching session with me or for yourself if you'd prefer to do it like that instead. Whatever you prefer, they're both good ways to support me and for you to keep learning really cool league tips just like what you did in this video. My name's Rogue. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a great day.